Hey, what's up guys, Matt with the Movement System. In this video, we're gonna go over 5 reasons why you should be training isometrics. Isometric exercises are static muscle contractions without joint motion. And for a long time, I trained clients and athletes without really knowing the benefits of isometric training. Once I learned some of the benefits, it made it a lot easier to figure out who they're best for and what outcomes I could expect from doing isometric training. So I'm gonna share all that with you today, all of the things that I've learned about isometric training so that way you know if it's right for you or for your clients. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Isometric benefit number 1 is very high neuromuscular output in a very short period of time. This can be a particularly important benefit to runners and athletes who run, because when we run, we're putting 3 to 5 times body weight forces through our lower body. So through the muscles of our calves, our quads, our hamstrings, really high muscle force outputs. It can be really hard to train those outputs in the gym. And when we don't train those outputs in the gym adequately, we can end up with tendinopathy and overuse injuries and things that we could prevent if we train high force outputs in the gym and build our capacity higher. When we fix a barbell into a rack, we can train specific joint angles that are specific to running. For example, get into a stance that's similar to the mid-stance phase of running when we're taking a lot of force through the ground, and we can reproduce that force in the gym. If you have force plates, it becomes really easy to measure this stuff because you can get an athlete into a position and you can measure that they were able to produce, say, 2,000 newtons of force. And then over time, you can get them to 2,400 newtons of force, and you can see their running economy improve, their stride length, their stride frequency, and just their overall efficiency of running improve as that force output capacity improves. But you don't need to have force plates to measure this to see improvement from these exercises. A really common training protocol in these joint angle specific positions is something like 3 sets of 3 repetitions, 4 seconds holding each, with maximal force output. This is something you can give to your runners or to yourself if you're a runner, and train the knee extensors, train the hip extensors, and also train the plantar flexors or the calf muscles to all produce better forces in mid-stance of running. Isometric training benefit number 2 is rapid recovery. So while traditional strength training, especially with a heavy eccentric or lowering component, has a lot of mechanical work involved, and it takes a lot of time to recover from that. But isometrics can be trained much more frequently and also recovered from a lot better. This makes this a particularly good choice for in-season athletes and for runners who are running a ton of volume already. If you're running 60 or 70 miles a week, you don't want to stack a ton of traditional resistance training on top of that. So I found that replacing some sets of traditional training with isometrics whenever an athlete is fatigued or experiencing some overreaching type symptoms can be a way to improve recovery and make them feel a lot better from their training. Isometric training benefit number 3 is the low technical requirement to do the exercises. Basically, we can put athletes in exactly the position we want and create really high force outputs without having good competency on a complex exercise like a power clean, for example. It can be really hard to get the outputs of power cleans without doing that type of an exercise, but if we fix the bar in different positions, we can have athletes build joint angle specific strength without needing to know complex exercises. So consider using isometrics as you're building technique with traditional strength exercises and see those things rise hand in hand. The 4th benefit of isometric training is for tendon repair. Isometric exercises and the forces, the consistent stable forces that go through the tendon during isometrics are a really good stimulus for tendon repair. Particularly for patellar tendinopathy or Achilles tendinopathy, one of the goals is to be able to put a lot of strain or load through the tendon in a safe way to stimulate healing and repair and growth. The protocol that I like to use for tendinopathy specifically is 30 seconds pushing and then 90 seconds of rest, just 3 times, doing that either every other day or even every day. And the 5th benefit of isometric training is that it's complementary to traditional strength training. So this is where I think that isometrics become a really important tool for coaches, is to understand where and how they fit into a traditional strength training program. If you're having tendinopathy in a specific area, you can just add an isometric for that specific area. Or if you're hitting a sticking point in bench press, you can use a very high force isometric for that specific sticking point in bench press to help you work through that. If you're experiencing fatigue from your traditional sets of squats, you can temporarily replace a few sets of your squats with an isometric variation instead and reduce the overall fatigue of your training program and potentially even improve your outcomes. So whether you're using very short duration, 1 or 2 second maximal rate of force development isometrics to help you jump higher and sprint faster, or if you're using 3 to 5 second isometrics to help you produce max force to improve your strength numbers, or even 30-second isometrics to improve tendon symptoms. I hope this video helped you understand how you might use isometrics in your own training program or training programs for your clients and athletes. If you do want to learn more about how to write training programs for clients and athletes, you can check out our full course, Program Design 101, which teaches you how to write great programs for your clients and athletes. I'll also leave a link in the description below to all of our training programs if you want to check those out and hop on a program for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.